ברשות הרב, ברשות האדמו"ר, ברשותכם הרבנים. We continue what we stopped our last lesson, and we start talking about the second paragraph in Patach Eliyahu, and we come to the point said that Eliyahu Navi is talking, and he said, "B'ho nitkarum al hachaya ve'ant let lachshem yediah. Da'antu memale kol shema'an ve'antu shlimud echulem." What Eliyahu Navi said, that all the angels, they have a known name. And this known name, each one of them have a name. And this known name that they have, the names they have, is not something that have no meaning. It have a meaning. We saw when Adam HaRishon came and God says, "Lo tov hiyot ha'adam levado, e'aseh lo ezer kenegdo." The idea was to give him support, give him his second half, to give him something that is going to help him to cross that time in Gan Eden. So he brought all the animals and everybody to him. The Torah says, "V'nireh ma yikra lahem." What does it mean? You want to see how is it to call them? What's the meaning to call? Just because it's have a meaning, or just it's a kind of a name? Is the name have a meaning, or just because he selects some name and put it? If I take this table and I said, okay, they called it Shulchan because it's have a meaning of Shulchan, or because it could be Paran, it could be any other names. The answer is that each name is that he gave to anything in the world have a meaning. That really represent who is that one. Who is that one? Which means if I say table, so it's have a meaning of table. If I say cow, so it's have a meaning of cow. What about the angels? Easy to say that they have certain work to do. There are things that they have to fill up what God wants them to do. And so the easy point is to say, yes, God created them. But the names He gave them they have to fill up God's request. Do they have a choice? The Zohar says no. They don't have a choice. They have to do exactly the shlichut or the work that they have to do. So follow that. Each name of these angels have to have God names inside. Have to have God names inside. So if I look on the name of the angel, I see God names inside. Any angel have a God names inside. But by giving part of the name from God names, it's make the name one piece. It's make it a complete name. Because without that, you miss something. It's a break name, which is not a complete name, and the angel will not be able to function. It's the same that the Zohar says. That hu memale kol shemahan ve'antu shlimud echuleu. He brings them to be the complete name. But the next sentence says, "Ve'antu distalek minho nishtahu kilo sheman kegufa b'la nishmata." If you take the God names out from the angel's name, they will be like a body without a soul. It means names God in the angels' names give the soul, or give them the power to be alive, to do, to react, and etc., etc., to be there. So the important part on the God and on the angels' names is God's names in the angels' names. We see here that the names have a meaning, and that by that he opened that to understand it. We see it in the Torah. Where is it in the Torah? When God created Adam, what he said? ויברא אלוקים את האדם בצלמו ובצלם אלוקים ברא אותו זכר ונקבה ברא אותם. It means God creates Adam, but it's now a name. I don't know what it is. I have no idea. It's one piece, two pieces, it's a whole creation, it's a body, it's a soul, it's a spirit, what it is. By the name bara is meant to create, he creates something spirit which we don't understand it. How it's built? One piece, two pieces, maybe three, I don't know. The answer is in the pasuk. ויברא אלוקים את האדם, we see it as a single, as a one piece. But it says זכר ונקבה בראם. It means he had one side of female side and one side is the male side. But they are one piece. Not two separate pieces. In one piece, with the name Adam, which is a single one piece, a complete one, will have two sides, in two halves. One half is going to be a male, one half is a female, and this is what from the soul side. That's, let me say, the main of what we're calling soul. But it's only a name at the moment to understand it. That's always when you go to the single one, asking the guy, what are you looking for? I'm looking for my second half. Where? From the soul side. That's what's important. Physically, it can't be the second half. But spiritually, yes, it is the second half. And then the Torah says, ויצר השם אלוקים את האדם in Gan Eden, and the God then brought the second half to him because he didn't choose any of these animals. When he brought her to him, when God brought her to him, he said, ויקרא אישה כי מאיש לוקחה זאת. It means he gives the name to himself as a ish, and he gives her name as a isha. It's a meaning. It's not just a name. How we can see it? I'll take an example and we'll try to understand it from that point. On this point of Adam, just to understand this Adam. When he brought him to the Olam HaBriya, when he put him there, he said, Pru urvu umil'u et haaretz. It means, let them be and to be more. I will go by the simple explanation that we can understand from the Torah, from the Pshat. But in Gan Eden it wasn't like that. He never told them Pru urvu. It wasn't Pru urvu. There was only Ish and Isha. And after they went to the Olam HaAsiyah, and God took them down to the Olam HaAsiyah, he gave her a name, Chava, Em Kol Chai. And he got his name back as an Adam. So we see here something, we came again to the Adam, why he have a Pru urvu, which he was Ish and Isha, they didn't have the Pru urvu. So one sign to see already there is a difference between Adam and Ish and Chava and Isha, which is not the same. It's a different meaning. Why they have Ish with a Yud and Isha with a K, we'll leave it later on, if we have time, we'll talk about that. But that's not the subject. The point is the names. So we understand that the angels' names have a meaning. The angel's name is their target, how to behave, what to do, and how to do. It's inside of the name. אנט חכים ולא בחוכמה ידיעה. אנט הוא מבין ולא מבין הידיעה. לעת לך אתר ידיעה, אלא לאשתו מודע, תוקפח וחילך לבני השעה, לארזה אלון, איך התנהג על מה, בדינה ורחמד, ייתנו צדק משפט, כמו אלון לבני השעה. So he's talking about God, and we see there what he says, אנט חכים ולא בחוכמה ידיעה. It's mean, if I can say someone is smart, nothing on the smart thing you can think about God. is more than that, there is no question. It's nothing that we can even imagine. We can say smart, so I can say he's smart. Even if I can say smart from the smart words, there is a chokhmah in the olamot. I can say, is that the same as smart? Not absolutely no. Even the binah, when the binah is there, I can say we have the binah, and that's the binah as we can see it and understand it. The answer is no. Don't even imagine that it is like that, because we can't, as we said in the beginning in the Resha, what Eliyahu said in the beginning, Eliyahu Navi said in the beginning, we can't understand it in our mind. Our mind is not built on the way that we can understand it. Not because God don't want to, that's not absolutely, because we can't. We have a limitation of understanding. And then it says, that God gave all the power, and He gave the opportunity to the human being to control the whole world by words or by acts or by any way. And for what? For what? What's the reason for that? It's the same way we'll ask the question, where Yetzirah is coming from? From the Kedusha or from the Tumah? Absolutely from the Kedusha. It's coming from the Binah. And the Zohar asking why. We're always going against him. Whatever we do, he's coming against me. So we always think he's coming from the other side. The answer is no. Because God gave us the Yetzirah for good reasons. And from my point of view, this is the best things that I got from God. Why? God says, listen, I'm not going to be your policeman. You want to make tshuva? Do it. It's in your hand. Just be sure that this is what you want. If you're not sure, He will push you to the other side. If you're sure you know what you want, you can win Him. Because whatever you will say, He will say the opposite. You say you want it, He say no, you don't need it. You say you don't want it, He say yes, you need it. Why? He wants to see how strongly you are in your mind, how much you really want to do what you want to do. If you're not sure, you're weak, and you're thinking some other things, He will win. He will change your mind. But if you really want it, you can win it. Where is leading me? To the point that I'm controlling everything that I want by my wishes. My wishes is the highest things in my life, in our world. Haratzon, my rabbis always said, Ratzon in Hebrew is Resh Tzadik Vav Nun, and they have the same letters like a pipe. It's enormous. So he said, if you put your Ratzon and go to the shoresh of the mitzvot and do it, God bless you. If not, there is a pipe. He's going to show you exactly how not easy the things is not to have your ratzon. And the ratzon is higher from the machshava. So if I'm going to see the levels, I can say ratzon is a wish, machshava is our thought, and then our talking, and then our acting. This is how every mitzvah we do is built in this way. When we do the mitzvah, we're doing in all of them. Sometimes my thought is not the same like my hand, or my thought is not the same like my words. I have nice words, but my mind is in another place. The Zohar says in Tikkun 47, he said something very interesting. He said, when we're talking, the angels are waiting next to me, next to us. And He's waiting to see what we are going to talk. If we talk a Divrei Torah, He says, fine, this is the holy things, and no question, they are like Fred, it's the holy things. They want to grab it because they get life from holy things to take. They want to take it. Where they're going? They're going to see our thought. If my thought and my words is one, he cannot touch it. But if my thought and my words are not the same, he taking the words and leave me the thought, and he's going to God. And he said, God, look, I took that. He said, why I took that? He said, but it's the thought. For example, if I learn something, or if I'm studying, or if I'm praying, and I'm in the prayer, and my mind is in the supermarket, or in the bank, or in the manager of the bank, and my words are running the study or the tefillah, so I'm losing it. They taking the tefillah, and the thought is, why? Because the thought is higher from the words, and I'm losing everything. But by that, to understand how we are going to behave, with the din or with the rachamim. This is how. The din is good. Why the din is good? Because that's the way it should be. The word cannot exist if it's not going to be by din. The din have to be. It's something that we need to have it. Can you imagine any country in the world, any place can exist without rules? No, we should have rules. Rules will keep us things to be as they're supposed to be, as I can say the designer of that country, or that society, or that village, or any want to exist. It's the same thing here. What I can say from my point of view, that the society rules that God gave us is something that you have to keep it. Otherwise, there will not be any society. For example, if two friends are fighting, or they are arguing, and one hurt the other guy, what is the wish of the mayor? That everybody will be at one. Everybody will be as a one group. Love each other, giving to each other. So if you hurt someone, you have to come to him and ask him for forgiveness. How? What is the way? Once, twice, 3 times, maybe don't ask him, maybe send him a letter. In the Jewish law, we can find it. Why? That's the way you can keep the society as a group, as one piece. But if you go to the country laws, you'll not find it. Because they have a different laws. They care about the land. They care about how it's going to behave. God needs us. So the rules are coming from the way to see how you're going to react, what you're going to do in the din or in the rachamim. By that way, He is going to judge us. By the same way. That's the reason we see in the Sefer Musar said, the way that you are judging others, God will judge you. Because that's the way that I want to behave. That's the way that I want to create my things around. And then, by that, we see the midot of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So we see He gave us this midot. We saw it in the previous chapter, that He gave us this midot to be able to fix the world. It's kind of tool for us to be able to fix it. Otherwise, how are we going to fix it? I have no tools. Who I am? No one. I'm son of God, but it's not enough. I still need something to be able to work with. So Rabbi Shimon says, Eliyahu Navi says, דין יהיו גבורה, משפט עמודה נמצא איתה, צדק מלכודה קדישה, מאזני צדק צרים סמכקשות, היא צדק עוד ברית, כולה להחזרה יחיד תנאי גלמה. So what we see? We see the judgment is coming from the Gvura side, from the Din side. This is where it's coming from. And the judgment will be the center. It's like the way that you're going to take the balanced thing. You have one from the right, one to the left, and you have the middle. So the middle is the main line, or the main I can say, or the central, I can say it's from Hebrew, it's the main, but you can say the central line, which keeping the balance in the both sides. So one side is going to be a din, and one side is going to be the chesed. But to judge it, that's the central one. This is how you're going to judge it. But the tzedek is mean, how about the tzedek in English?
Righteousness.
Sorry? The straight things?
The right side.
Okay, we call it tzedek. Leave it as it is because it's difficult.
Is justice. Gereft is
justice.
Okay, but how is it tzedek? So it's a tzedek, I'm sorry. If you're, that's the word. I don't have any English words for that.
fairness.
Fairness. Fairness.
Fairness.
Fairness? I don't know the words.
Fair. What is fair?
Fair.
Oh, fair,
Right.
yes.
This is right.
Fairness.
This is the right
Yes.
one. Yeah, this
Okay.
is the right one. Correct.
Oh.
Fair.
Fair translation.
So the fairness is really the base of all these balancing here. It's nothing we can say we do what we want. There is a way. And this is the tzedek. It's come there. This is the fairness is the basic, and this is the foundation of this balance. And the two sides of the fairness is like the two lengths, which they are really supporting it and taking with him. But the main fairness is the sign of the agreement, sign of the brit. How we can see that? What's the meaning to have it there and to say, really, that's what it is? I say it in Aramaic, Hin tzedekot berit. It means that all of it coming from the sign of agreement between us and God. And everything depends on that. Where it's coming, what he's talking about? He's talking about the Yesod. Yesod is not, I can translate it in English and I can say foundation, but it's only a translate name. In Hebrew, the meaning is really everything depends on the foundation, on this Yesod. Everything depends on him.
It's like a funnel.
Like a
Funnel.
yes, it's more than that, because when we look on something and we say, this is what we built everything on him, and if you touch him, you destroyed everything. Now, when he said that, they are coming to the point to understand that all this judgment that we're talking about, fairness, right and left, gvura v'chesed, etc., depends on that. Why? Because there is the agreement between us and God to accept it and to do it and to go by rules. The rules are there. What is the brit? What is the agreement? The agreement between us and God is the Torah. The agreement is there to say what I should do and what I shouldn't do. Where I cross the line, where I didn't cross the line. So if I want to go there and say, okay, let's open the agreement, this is what's written there, and then we can go to the judgment. So we understand that everything is there. The question the Farshim asking, why he said the word ot, a sign. Why is this a sign? It should be a rule. It should be say, he in tzedek brit. That's fine. We can understand it. Why it's a sign of the agreement? The point for that